Hi guys, Lucas from Lucas Cars, and today we're jumping in with a radiator change today. I originally was filming this probably about 3 hours ago or so, of like start to finish of us taking the radiator out sort of thing, and then I was going to say getting ready to get the new one in, because we haven't got the new one in yet, because I've kind of diverted off a little bit. I'll kind of explain why, I suppose. So I've not done a radiator change before, something new to me. Obviously I was going to document it. It wasn't necessarily going to be a tutorial, but it's kind of just me doing it and telling you what I was doing. A little bit trickier than what I thought. It was nothing major, but it's just like getting the radiator out. You have to wiggle it down certain space and stuff. There's great videos online for that sort of thing. So this is more of me just kind of vlogging what's going on, rather than me going, this is how to do a radiator change, because I wouldn't follow me how to do it, because I probably did it a really weird way to compare to how you should do it. Nonetheless, I've spiraled off with what I was actually doing a little bit, nothing major, still related to that sort of thing, which I'll show you now. Before I do show you that though, lie to you, I just thought I'd show you the bits that have come out. So something that really threw me off, so I got the radiator out, I got the fan pack out. I didn't know what this was, if I'm honest with you. Some people might look at it straight away and go, that's that. I didn't know what that was. I got the radiator out by itself, obviously that come out first, then that, and that was still in the car, plugs in on that side, and then has connections there. And I was like, what is it? I was like, I bought a new radiator, brand new radiator. It doesn't come with that bit, so I was like, you know, it can't be part of the radiator, but it looks like a radiator, so I was like, it's cooling something. So I haven't got any internet on my phone currently, like I've run out of data and all that stuff, so I had to go home and try and figure out what that was. End of the story, I figured out what it was. It's an AC compressor, I want to say it's called. So that's to do with cooling, something to do with that. I could be bodging what it's called or whatnot, but that was my understanding of what that was doing. Basically what I understood was I don't need that, so I could pull it out of the car, which was what I wanted to do, because one, the main reason I bought a radiator was because I thought this was the radiator and it's fudged. That hole wasn't that bad, but it was like a big stone had gone in that, and I just stabbed it with a screwdriver, which I'll show you now of just how bad that is. Like just this in general of the condition of, I mean, I wouldn't do this to a new one anyway, but obviously I know this is fudged, so I'm not going to do anything with it, but it shouldn't be that like fragile to my understanding. So it's just not good, but it's yeah, do you know what I mean? It's not what you want. This is old. It's probably since when the car was new or whatnot, so it's an old thing now. Main point is, before I tangent off, because I do that so easily, I don't need it. I pulled it out of the car. There's two connections which are here. That's where they go. They're stupidly weird as well, because I've never dealt with them before. You basically have to push a thing in and it releases it. I had no time for that, so I just cut the ends of them off, but after where the fitting goes, so I can actually get them off at some point, and this will still be intact and it's fine. It's just the compressor side that's not good, but obviously that would be swapped anyway if I was going to, but it's a drift car, it doesn't need AC, so that's gone. Shouldn't cause any issues, I don't think, electronic-wise. I don't know how it works, but I think that's fine just being removed. And then on the topic of the front end, move this slightly, nothing major. It's the power steering cooler, if you didn't know what it was. I wanted to move it properly, like somewhere different, but I don't have extra lines or anything, because it's really weird. Like, we've got these silicone hoses, so they're like flexible, but then it goes into a hard line here, which they wiggle up. I don't know why they're not straight. It's so confusing. Like, it curves up and then goes in, and then it goes into a rubber hose again and drops down, and then goes up to a hard line, then rubber again, and then literally just comes up to this bit here, which is your reservoir. But I tried to bend them with my hand. I probably could if I don't know. I couldn't bend them. I tried to. They moved a very small amount, but I was worried that I was going to snap one, to be fair. I don't know if it would snap, but I know if you overbend stuff it can crack, or I didn't want to have to deal with that because it's something else I don't need and it doesn't currently have an issue. But I managed to move it enough where I could just bring this down. It was on these brackets before, if you're familiar with them, so it'd sit, there was two holes behind here, and it'd sit on a bracket, so it'd come out, and it kind of sat about this height. It's moved a very minimal amount, but more airflow is what I was thinking, slash it's more of the visual, if I'm honest. I mean, moving that an inch down isn't really going to create the car to be in some sort of monster, but it visually looks more appealing just because with the bash bar and stuff I'll probably drive without the bumper and stuff, and it just looks a bit better than that kind of float in there. Also, you might notice we can see the engine. Can you usually see the engine on a 350 when this is like this? Probably not, because you have a massive bit in the middle. I don't know what the thing is with having that middle bit. I understand it's a support beam in the middle. There's videos of people deleting it. I don't know what like the thing. I don't know how to explain what I mean. I don't know if that's needed. I bet there's people that will say, "Oh my God, you can't get rid of that." But then there's people that have done it and they said it's been fine, and they're on road cars that just like drive around stuff. The whole idea of that really is just for the visual, if I'm honest, because when the new radiator is dropped in, you can see it. Yes, technically there'll be better airflow because you've not got this thick bit of plastic in the middle, but I don't think it'll cause any issues having that. I mean, it seems really solid, to be honest with you. I mean, it's not like this whole thing's like pretty firm. If I have any concerns, I'll just strengthen up the square itself and put something to support the corners or something, so it's just a bit more rigid, but it honestly feels fine. I don't think it'll cause any issues. Obviously you can let me know if you think it will, but I think it'll be fine myself. I mean, you'll have a radiator also in here, which is another contact point to sort of, it becomes one with this shroud, so it's kind of, it's going to be rigid, you know what I mean? Besides that, that's kind of where we are. This has obviously been there existing. Possibly, I was going to say move the lines, I just kind of took them up maybe a little bit more than what they were. But yeah, I think besides that, I am pretty much ready to put the new radiator back in, because all I was doing was cutting that middle bit out, making it look all pretty-ish, so it wasn't all wobbly, and then getting that dropped lower. Was going to paint it, but then I didn't know if paint would affect the actual cooling feature of that. I don't know if it actually would or not, but I didn't want it to. I don't know, but it's just, it looks a bit crusty. It'd be nice if it was like that, but it's not, and that is what it is. I mean, the car's not exactly pretty anyway, with a headlight missing that doesn't mount because the brackets are broken and all that, but I'm going to drop that in now. I'm going to do update stages rather than saying this is how I'm doing it. Possibly slap the camera on a tripod and I'll just cut bits of when I've dropped it in, because I think I put that in first, then the fans goes in after. That would make sense. I don't know why I even have to question that, but yeah, I'm going to do that. It's going to be weird because obviously that was in the way before and that was connected to that, and it was kind of made it really awkward, but it should be easier. Fingers crossed, who knows, but we'll see. Yeah, so I'll just unbag this. From your last radiator, like your previous one you have in the car, you do have to take the rubbers off it, so there's two at the bottom and two at the top. They go on like these knobs here. I know the camera angle's pretty tragic, but I will pick it up and show the camera a bit closer once we're unbagged. I mean, this is a very pretty radiator, which I'd expect for a substantial amount of money. It's not a cheap thing, but they're the nubs that I'm talking about there. So you've got one there. It's on every corner, same for the bottom as well. I'll get them on first, I think, and then I'll drop it in, because I know the bottom two sit in like a hole crevice thing, we'll call it. I know it's obviously going on the front of the car, so you're probably going to get a rock through it now, the fact that I haven't got that thing at the front. But until then, we shan't complain. I mean, to be fair, the oil cooler still looks brand new, and that's been on the car for over a year now, so obviously the radiator's probably not as strong, but okay. Do with my pliers. Possibly got them off with the pliers, maybe. Yeah, that's it. It's not strong enough, I'm a weak man. The pliers have turned them into the lock position. That's technically on now. We can leave it, we can go home. We can't, but we can get the bolts in. So there's some that go here, which I'm confused on what they actually bolt to now. I reckon they were bolted to that radiator, which they are, because there's holes in them, so we don't need to put them back in, which is good, easier. And then what else is it bolted to? Can't remember, man. I honestly want to say that was it. I feel like that's wrong. But I think it was, you know. So I only took them front bits off that was connected to that, and then it pops in and then turns that, and that's it. Just doesn't seem a lot to bolt down a radiator myself. I feel like I'm lying to you here. But honestly, there isn't any other mounting points. I think that's it, honestly. It's not actually moving anywhere, so it's got prongs at the bottom of the radiator, and then these lock turn things at the top. Tight as it is from the top, and the bottom looks like my only option. Ah, crikey. Crikey, crikey. Get on the wet floor full of coolant, because I took the pipes off when I was taking it off. I was like, I've drained the radiator, there won't be any liquid in it, and there was, and it got me all wet, and it was not enjoyable. I've got overalls on, but the fans are pretty chunky if I'm honest, so it'll be interesting to see how they actually go in. Let's just kind of push it up, because I can't see anything from underneath. It's leaking on me. How's it leaking? Oh, it's the pipe. That is why. I've hit the pipe with the fans and it's just gone down my neck. Probably say I'm not in optimum position to be doing this. I'm gonna pull it. Not nice at all. The fans are 25% of the way in. Might be asking yourself, you've got the new fans or the new radiator. I've kind of ruined what I was going to say now. Why didn't you get the fans? Answer to that is apparently they're not amazing. Obviously I've not tried them myself, so I can't give you my opinion on them, but obviously with anything, before you buy car parts, you usually have a look at the reviews and stuff and what people are saying, because nothing's cheap. You don't want to spend a lot of money on something that's not really worth it. Apparently that's one of them. Apparently the fans just aren't, I think they're good, they're not awful, I don't want to like slate them, but apparently just the standard fans are mint, so basically don't change them, you don't need to. Radiators change, because I see it as a maintenance thing more than anything, because the car's old and it's got the standard radiator that it came with, so it's a bit like, even if you don't get that extra 30% colder air or whatever they say that you're going to get, you've still gave the car a little bit of TLC. So I apologise again for shabby camera work. Nightmare, if I'm honest with you. It's basically a push clip, you push down on it and it releases it, but so easy to get back in. I mean, that was one of them. And this will be the other whenever. It's a bit dark to be found here. Is that in? Yeah. Ta-da. Yep, that was done. Yeah, they're just a bit tricky. You have to push a screwdriver down on it basically and it releases the clip, but nothing too major. Bend them compressor pipes back. I'll get my cone box back on I think now, and then I can connect the pipes up after, I would say. I think we should all be all gravy. I like to have a go. I mean, you do something like that and you try not to do that again, because you get that hurt, so I'll move my hand away from that next time, which we won't be putting our fingers near there. I want to make sure I get it nice on. There we go. Perfect. Ow, my hand really hurts now. Oh well, just without knowing what it is. But that's kind of that done. There I am again, major mechanic man, covered in stuff. But just so you can see it, really nice cap by the way. I think some radiators don't even come with these, so it's nice that they include that. I'm seeing if the clips fell down there. No, I think it's just gone. if I'm honest with you, which is a shame. Fans are on. Probably could have put some foam between the fans and the radiator, just so it sits nicely. Probably the same with the radiator against the shroud, but we didn't. Obviously, it depends what you want to do for your own. That hose at the top, one at the bottom, and that's kind of it. I need to just route them, but it looks pretty mega if I'm honest. Like, I like the look of that. Personal opinion. You might not, but I think that looks really cool. Muz everywhere for Master Drift Man. That's what it's for, not Mishimoto. Ta-da! There we go. That wasn't too bad. I mean, I know how to cable tie stuff, so it's in my skill set, I'd say. I'll open the door. Just actually, to be fair, there's probably no need to open the door. You can kind of see what we're looking at. Maybe get a step back or something just so you guys can see it. I'll clean up, and then we'll get some better angles. You can see it with the bonnet down and stuff, so you can get a bit of an idea what it looks like in the event that you want to molest your car like I have by chopping the middle bit out. But I think it looks great personally. Big fan. Call it there really, to the end of the video really. I'll obviously show you the front of the car and what it looks like, because that is the main reason that you're here for the video, which currently in that lighting you can't even see it, but I can see it with my eyes. Might help as I come into the shot. You can kind of see it. It's a little bit dark for some reason. It's probably my settings, which I don't currently know how to faff with, but I think you get the idea with that. I think it looks pretty mega, to be honest, because a normal 350, it doesn't look like that, and it never would with that front like bar in the middle, which is really big. That just looks a bit more mean, in my opinion, but it's what I like. Probably helped with a little bit of weight saving. I was going to zoom there, but it's behind the box of taking the little radiator thing out. I mean, it's not going to be a lot. It's probably less than a kilo or something, but it's there if you're really that bothered. Doesn't bother me. It's not going to change how the car is, but I think it looks mint. It helps with the airflow. It needed replacing, so it's just a bit of TLC for the car, whilst also looking good at the same time. But that's it. The car's getting slowly to where it needs to be. Looks a bit sad with that headlight. Probably won't replace that, to be fair, at the minute, just because they're not cheap, to be fair, and I'll probably end up bumping it again, so it's like, it'll get done when it's done. We've got Ganadors now though as well, if you've not seen them in the other videos. But I'm a happy boy. Car's slowly getting to where I want it to be. Cooling wise, it's probably as much as it'll go. Obviously, unless it's turboed one day, which probably won't happen, but you never know. But any cooling, that's oil cooler and a better radiator. You can do a power steering cooler, but it's already got one, but like an upgraded one. But I don't think we really get that issue over here. It's more of an American thing where it's a lot hotter, so the cars run hotter, whereas in the UK it's cold. So the car's been fine. I mean, radiator-wise, I haven't had any issues with overheating, but it's more of just being prepared for the future in the event it has an issue. I've kind of warranted it now for however long until it's it's just keeping it going a little bit better, I suppose, is what I'm trying to get at. Been a bit of a probably not super informative video. It's not really been a how-to. It's kind of just been watching me play mechanic and point out my car and sort of just my own little tastes of how I've done things, rather than just dropping a radiator and just calling it a day with just little movements of stuff, moving that main bar bit. But I like it. I just thought I'd share it. I like to document where I'm at rather than not really film anything of what I'm doing, and then you're like, wow, when did you do that? And then I have to then explain it, where I can just show you guys as and when we go, and you can watch the videos of things that you're interested in. Obviously you have to watch them all, but try and tailor to certain little things in each video, like the white car that's behind us, which will be in other videos. But till next time guys, thanks for watching. If you've stuck through this one, congratulations, because it's probably been a bit of a ramble one. You can't really see anything with the poor camera angle, but it's probably been slightly entertaining with me not being amazing at what I'm doing. But thanks for watching guys, till next time, see you later.